Hey guys, it's Woody the Unexceptional Gamer. So I have two videos up so far about Modern Warfare 3 information, and in both of them actually I was pretty careful to say that these might not be right on target. This is early leak stuff, especially in the second one. I'll put them as video responses underneath this so you can see them if you're interested. But this is not one of those videos. This is one where everything I'm going to talk about is fully confirmed by Infinity Ward itself. We have like really solid information, like screenshots of the weapons. So this is a solid video with things you can take to the bank. And on anything that's even remotely sketchy, I'll call that out and say what it could be. And the other thing I wanted to call out is Wayne Wexford. He's a YouTuber. There'll be a link to his channel in the description. He's actually the guy that assembled this list. I actually had seen everything that he mentioned before, but I hadn't put it together and listed it like him. And he had a lot of value to this. So there's a link to his channel in the description. Sub him up. But he's one of the guys that assembled this intel. Let's get to it. The first thing is weapons. These are the weapons from Kodachu, I still can't pronounce that right, that have been confirmed by screenshots. All of these things are going to be in the game. We know that just about for sure. Now, it is possible, because these were only released as Modern Warfare 3 screenshots, that some of them could be single player. We know some of them, like the MP5, are confirmed to exist in Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer, and probably most of them are the multiplayer, but I did want to call out, like, hey, just because we saw screenshots for the game, it might only be single player. You can't tell that for sure just by the fact that they've included it in the game somewhere. Now, one of the things that before I go there, when I look at a weapons list, I usually think, I don't care, right? It doesn't really matter to me too much which real-life gun it was modeled after. I mean, they could potentially take a spaz and make the pump so fast it's fully auto. It's a video game. They could, take a bow and arrow, hypothetically, and have the arrow with no travel time and an instant kill and make it the most powerful sniper rifle in the game, even though it holds like a bow and arrow, because it's a video game. So to me, whether the thing is supposed to be an ACR in real life or an AK-47 or a FAMAS or whatever, it never makes a really big difference to me. What makes a big difference to me is how the game plays. But there is one thing I noticed on this, which was the machine pistol. And I don't know if there'll be shotgun secondaries, but the fact that there's a machine pistol means that when your primary runs out of ammo, you're probably not going to be virtually unarmed, right? We all know that when you get down to your, whatever, 1911 or your Python or whatever it is you like to run, you're in a tough spot in Black Ops. And because of that, a ton of guys run like a Strela as their secondary because they find the pistol to be just, better than worthless anyway. Well, if they're going to have machine pistols in the game, then that's going to compete with launchers as a secondary, and therefore make kill streaks a little more powerful. It's just something that I thought of when I looked at this list. This is another list of weapons. Each of these were spotted in the reveal trailer. So again, because it's spotted in the reveal trailer, you don't know if it's going to be a multiplayer weapon or a single player only weapon. The one thing I spot here is the RPGs. I think I speak for a lot of players when we say the explosives are usually, like, they suck the fun out of the game for the victims from them. Usually an RPG is different from a launcher in that it can attack people and you get 2 rounds. So you can expect at least some guys to run around trolling with the RPG. But whatever, it's Call of Duty. And so that's it for weapons. Those are the weapons that we've seen through screenshots that are definitely going to be in this game. When you look at screenshots, you don't know. There's been no multiplayer releases so far. But these are weapons that we know. Let's look at what else we know for sure. All right, the next thing we're going to look at is a couple of tweets from 402, things that he's mentioned, and he's the community manager, right? These are official things that come from him. Grenade launchers are a valuable tool in modern arsenals. No doubt they need rebalancing, but not removal. So there will be noob tubes in Modern Warfare 3. Now, I hate noob tubes as much as anybody I know. They ruin Modern Warfare 2. I'm like, actually angry about them, but they don't have to be bad, right? Noob tubes could be so worthless. If noob tubes were a 2-hit kill, then they wouldn't be a problem. If they balance them properly, the noob tubes are okay. Black Ops did a pretty good job in that. Like, you actually have to, if I get killed with a noob tube in Black Ops, they probably could have done it with bullets too. And Black Ops also made it expensive to buy. They made it last unlock. They did everything they could, and I appreciate that. I hope that Infinity Ward sees that noob tubes are more about ruining the game than improving them, and I hope that they're really, really nerfed. They've shown willingness to learn from their Modern Warfare 2 mistake. Let's watch and see. Okay, these are two tweets that say essentially the same thing, that you're going to be able to have two scopes on your gun. You're going to be able to have like a close and long range optic. I think that means a like a red dot sight as well as an ACOG, maybe on the same gun, something along those lines. And I predict this doesn't have a major impact on gameplay. I'm just guessing here, but most people don't like the long range optics, unless the long range object has a big impact on recoil, which I doubt it will. It's just me guessing. I think that people will just rock the red dot and not need to mess with anything else. So yeah, but interesting thing, they're trying a new mechanic here with these dual optics, and that's confirmed in the game. Perks. So one thing we know for sure is that these 3 perks will not be in Modern Warfare 3. There will be no stopping power. There will be no one-man army, and there'll be no commando. I think those are no-brainers. These guys, while they're not always able to react to the community, they definitely listen to the community, and they know full well that people hate these perks, that they ruined their previous game and they never made any changes. Well, they're going to make some changes for Modern Warfare 3. They won't repeat that mistake. Those 3 perks aren't there. Having said that, there is this tweet from Robert Bowling, the community manager. Fast-paced, high-damage, gun-on-gun gameplay. Put them down quick. That's what I want in Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. What do you want in Modern Warfare 3? Fast-paced, high-damage, gun-on-gun gameplay. I think this is a reference to Black Ops and the way that people say it's slow-paced. I think they're going to do what I would do if I was in their situation, which is not have stopping power, because I don't like stopping power. I like being able to have other class setups. With stopping power, the second perk slot was pretty much non-negotiable. You had to have it. What they're going to do instead is, I hope, this is me guessing, buff the guns. Right? Stopping power added like 20-25% damage to the guns. I think they're going to add that to their base damage and not have stopping power. So, and what I mean to say by that is all the guns will react as if you had stopping power, making it a little easier to get those cross-map kills because it's one less bullet, making everything a little faster paced, zip around, you see a guy, he's dead. That Call of Duty is traditionally a twitch shooter like that. I think it's fair to call it that. And anyway, so yeah, those perks are removed. However, because he says fast-paced, high-damage guns, I think that implies that you don't need stopping power with these things. They're gonna kill quickly. Vehicles. So there was a Kotaku leak that said there was going to be like some armored transport vehicles in the multiplayer, and this is Robert Bowling's response to that. I don't know where you heard it has vehicles in multiplayer, but we've never announced that. I'll let you know when we talk multiplayer details. So he's not specifically denying vehicles, but I think he's virtually denying vehicles. I know when Modern Warfare 2 came out, 402 was relatively adamant that he didn't like the tanks in World at War. That's not how Infinity Ward liked to have their multiplayer game. So, you know, he's not confirming or denying it, but I think he's implying that there won't be any vehicles to drive around and do damage, Battlefield or Bad Company 2 style in the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. That one's a little sketchy, but that's what we've seen from them so far. So Call of Duty Elite, everybody went wild when they heard that there was going to be an additional fee available in Call of Duty, right? It's an optional service, and so here he is answering some of the questions about it. Some of the things we know about Call of Duty, it's a service that's outside the game. It's going to include the map packs, but they have confirmed that you'll be able to buy the map packs in the old style as well as through Call of Duty Elite. It is a website. It is, and they haven't detailed sort of what value is in Call of Duty Elite. And I think it's because they haven't figured it out yet. They know they want to do something. They know they want to have people they know they want to give people the ability to buy an extra service, whether that be some sort of like dating site matchmaking thing like we do at huppetgaming.com or something else. What we also know is that it's not going to be extra guns. It's not going to be extra perks. You're not going to be able to buy like a Superman character. It's not going to help you play the game. It's probably just going to be some additional content, some additional website abilities. Maybe you can look up stats in a new way. They haven't figured out what the value add for the paid version of Call of Duty Elite is, but it's definitely not pay to play online multiplayer. It's definitely not pay to get a better weapon or a better perk or anything like that. It's a service outside the game that they really haven't defined yet. And from the outside, it looks like they haven't figured out yet. But they will. And when we know more about Call of Duty Elite, I'll be sure to share it with you. Kill streaks. Now, there's been a lot of leaked information about different kill streaks, the little bird, etc. But this video is about the 100% confirmed stuff. And as far as the 100% confirmed stuff, here's what we know. The AC-130 was shown in the reveal trailer for the single-player campaign. We don't know for sure that it's in the multiplayer. It kind of implies it because it's built into the game and it was in the previous game. But the AC-130 was in the reveal for the single-player. And the other thing we know that is confirmed by Infinity Ward, Robert Bowling, their community manager, is that the nuke will not be returning. There will be no nuke in the next game. So that's what we know about kill streaks for sure. So he wrote this in response to somebody who was criticizing AJUDT, the service that sort of matched-maked in Modern Warfare 2. And to be fair, your problems weren't with AJUDT, but with the lack of options like dedicated servers that it offered. Matchmaking makes it more accessible. Dedicated servers make it more reliable. So a quick note on dedicated servers. Here's the deal. There's two ways to do these games. Some games, like the Battlefield series, have what I'll call professional, industrial, dedicated servers that host the game, and then everyone's information goes into that central server and then is passed back to you, right? So everyone sort of talks to this central hub. You can picture it like a starfish, where in the middle is the dedicated server and everyone communicates to it. The opposite of that is when they have like a peer-to-peer system where I guess it's kind of similar actually in terms of the layout, in that everyone communicates to one person, but instead of that being a professional server in an industrial data center that's right on the backbone of the internet with a great connection, it's some jackass in his apartment with a Walmart DSL line, and that's why you shoot people and they don't die. That's why you run around the wall, but they haven't gotten the information on where your character is yet, so they're able to shoot you even though on your screen you clearly evaded. That's what dedicated servers give you. Now, as a little aside, sometimes they give you other problems. I haven't seen an EA game released where they didn't underestimate the amount of sales and be unable to handle the capacity. Gears of War did a good job. They have dedicated servers. But the dedicated servers can bring their own problems. Hit registration is not their problem. Their problem is usually capacity, parties breaking up, things like that. But that little message from 402, it didn't close the door to dedicated servers. We really don't know what the answer is. Sometimes what they do is they have dedicated servers for PCs, but not for consoles. That might be on the radar for Modern Warfare 2. We can't tell, but they're being a little coy about the inclusion of dedicated servers so far, and that's that. So that's it. That's what we really know about Modern Warfare 3 so far. Everything there has come from a really reliable source like Infinity Ward itself, or really leaked screenshots where you can see things that guys actually playing and doing their stuff. The other thing I didn't mention is Ghost made an appearance in the Legend of Carl, which I think is a Legend of Thunder reference, in the Legend of Carl COD Elite explanation. So for the single player campaign, I don't know. They're talking about Ghost. It was kind of a hint. That's cool. So I put up a video yesterday. I actually watched it myself repeatedly and thought it was pretty funny. So I hope that you guys like it too. You can click on the annotation on the screen and have a good day.